Whew. Okay. Now we're going to get to our regular chat here. Let me get this up. Now this is a little bit more normal for me. Okay. And live. Hi, Hexen. Hi, Nurturing Compassion, Long Hair, Skinny Eyed Toe, Katie. Hi, honey. Hi, Deb, Steven. Hi, guys. So, first of all, thank you for joining us for our interview and for not asking me a whole bunch of questions about the personal stuff, because I was like, hopefully, we can get through the interview without talking about the personal stuff. I'm sure you guys did want to ask me about the personal stuff, but I kind of appreciate you not while we were on that interview. I appreciate it. I know, first of all, a little bit of the deck. Yeah, the tarot deck. Sure. It's I really like the deck. So I think the Oracle deck hopefully will be good. So this is the majors. I did put it in order again. I didn't have it in order because I had used it for readings fairly recently. Look at that High Priestess. Isn't that pretty? Empress. So like I said, I'm doing okay. There's all kinds of different styles of art. Look at, that's like a Japanese style. There's the Lovers, which is gorgeous. And because it's all different styles, I was kind of worried because I thought, oh, maybe it might not be cohesive, but I don't know what it is. It really, to me, does okay. It's, even though it's totally different styles, I actually turned out liking the way it read really a lot. There's the pyrography one. Lost me for a minute. Uh-oh. Yeah, it is. It seems really, really nice. And I really like, that's her art. And she also did the Queen of Cups too. There's, this is one of my favorite devils. You see, this is a high-heeled shoe and a woman's leg. I like that devil a lot. So it's a really nice deck. I like it a lot. I mean, way different arts. That's one of the add-on. There's two extra major cards. One is the Curator, which I love. And this one is the Thriving Artist. So it's a good deck. Okay. So personal stuff. Let's start with that and get that over with. Because I'm sure you guys are wondering, I am doing okay. My cousin's wife, Kelly, not so much, but I can't, I certainly don't blame her. I know she's been, they gave her, basically, they just kind of gave her stuff to knock her for a loop, which is probably good because she just needs to kind of rest for a little bit. It was really, I went, God, today's Monday. So was it yesterday that I went to see her? Yes, I think. I don't know. My days are kind of melding together too. As you can, as an empath, first of all, I will tell you, I did not know, Nikki, the young girl who died, who was my cousin's daughter. I did not know her very well. I probably met her like 5 times. But I kind of grew up with Kelly, my cousin's wife. So I did go to see her and just kind of be there. There wasn't a whole lot to say. She couldn't speak as of yesterday, and I certainly understand that. What I'm finding out is that of the 4 who were killed, her and there's another, one of the other people who were killed was also kind of a cousin of mine, like a third cousin. And then there was 5 people in the car, and the 5th one is still fighting. He's in critical condition still, and we'll see. I still don't know. We still don't know really why the car accident happened. A lot of people, it was out in the country where I used to live, where there's a lot of my family lives out in Prattsburg. And that's a very rural not gonna be able to say it, rural area. Hi, Lucy. And so we're wondering if it was deer, but we're not sure. It was kind of on a back road and stuff. So the car apparently flipped over and ended up in a little creek. So I don't know. We'll get more information as it goes along. I'm doing okay. I was gonna take off a couple days and spend time with Kelly, but to be honest with you, I think I'm gonna wait a while, because these first couple days, I think they're really just gonna drug her and have her kind of snowed for a couple days, which I don't blame them. If it were me, I would be like, just knock me out, because I don't think I can deal with this yet. Not that it's going to be any different when she comes out of it, but thanks, Ricky. But I'm okay. Like I said, it's hard to see her going through that, and that's my hard time, is seeing her go through that. But I'm all right. Hexen, my dear Hexen, happy birthday. I hope that you've had an awesome, wonderful day. He is out visiting his sister, and we did get one picture of you and your sister, which is so cute. And I hope that, your days, your week, how long are you on vacation with her? He's up in Virginia, which is so close. I wish I could just drive down to see you. A week. Gosh, that's close. I really wish I could. On top of it, my knee is still really bothering me, and I may end up needing to go to the doctor, because it's just not going away. I thought, after a couple days it would start to go away a little bit, because there was no injury, but it's really not. It sucks. Now, what else did I have to say? Thank you guys, everyone who came to the crystal show on Friday night. It was great. Hopefully you guys all found some pretties that you could afford. Cassie is just great, and the energy in her crystal dungeon there is amazing. So we will do that again. We're saying like maybe monthly we'll do a crystal show in her basement. Thank you. I love my Walking Dead Hurdy too. 1 or 2 pretties. Yes, Sherry Bug, I know you did. As a matter of fact, so anyone who has not gotten an invoice from that, if you could message me on Facebook, or you can message Cassie if you have her Facebook link there. Or you can message that Mystic Dragon Slayer if you have not received an invoice yet. Because I know she said she had a couple that were, she was waiting for emails or something. Invoice paid. Yay, right? I know, I'm telling you guys, if you got anything, and it's going to be, you're going to love what you get, because it's way better than anything we could have shown, on camera. The only thing that's hard is at her house. You're going to be in the doghouse. I know, I do too. It looks really good, doesn't it? I kind of like it, especially right now. because it's October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it kind of goes through, it works really good. I went to one of the witch shops and oh my God, I got cool stuff. Did you? We'll have to, if you have time after, I'm live, honey, then call me. I want to see some. And Cass, there's Cass. Cass, is there anyone else that you need? I know you messaged me earlier. Is there anyone else that you need emails or anything from? You can say it now, so hopefully they'll know they can get a hold of you. The only thing is, Cass, her internet is not great, so I had to try to go off of my phone internet, which I know you guys know that, I have spotty internet on and off. So I don't know. I was trying to think of like if I could get some portable internet or something. I don't know. Pele. Oh, that's true. That's true, Lucy. I like that comparison. It's kind of nice. It's almost like a peachy at the bottom. It is kind of working for me. I like it right now. Of course, pretty soon this will grow out a lot more and it'll look crappy again. But we'll get there. So Sherry Bug has not gotten the invoice. Tarot. Oh, Art and Tarot, Rhonda, Earthy, Taurus, Carmen. So Sherry Bug says she didn't get one. And is there an email address, Sherry Bug, that she can send it to you? Okay, now where's the book that I took out for our Samhain talk? Because we haven't had a chance at all to talk about Samhain. Things have gotten a little nutty. And I'm so sorry because Samhain is coming up so quickly. It's in like 2.5 weeks or something. So does anybody not know what Samhain is? Let's just talk about a little bit about what Samhain represents. So Samhain in the Wheel of the Year, Wheel of the Year here, is the Witch's New Year. It is the time when the veil is the thinnest. No idea why that just stopped for no reason. Yay! I'm tired. Celebrating Samhain on Halloween or November 1st. Yes. Yep. That's time. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I have no idea why that did that. That was really weird and goofy. Okay. Samhain is the time of the year when the veil is the thinnest. So it is the time of year when we specifically celebrate and connect to our ancestors. Because we should be able to connect to our ancestors who have transitioned much more easily. Hi, Leolyn. Because that veil is thin. And I can tell you, I know Joey came up to me today and said, really? Well, first of all, he said, is Dustin not home? And I said, no, Dustin's at work. And I have not heard from the other Cassie. We'll have to message her. Yeah, I haven't heard from her. But he said he saw Dustin, or who he thought was Dustin, and the bathroom door opened and closed. And he walked downstairs, and obviously Dustin was at work, so he was not here. So he is realizing that Samhain is here and the veil is thin again, because he always starts to really get a lot of contact around now, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse until November or so. Yes, you should, if you want to connect more with your ancestors at this time, you should definitely try to set up some kind of ancestor remembrance altar. That can be a candle that you are dedicating to your ancestors. If you are in the closet and cannot have any kind of big setup, that's totally okay. Even just like I said, just one candle that you dedicate to your ancestors will help that connection to happen easier. Because we are talking about a witch's new year, it is much about, it is a lot about thinking about what has happened throughout this year and looking ahead to what we want to dedicate ourselves to in the new year. My stuff keeps disappearing when I'm 100% sure where I left it and showing up in different places. Could this be because of the veil thinning? Absolutely. Nurturing compassion, two things. One is it could be ancestors. The other is, hi, Amris, that the Fae know that they have a limited amount of time to fuck with us. So I find that the Fae activity around this time of year actually increases until Samhain because they know that their time is shortening. Other than there's a few Fae kind of creatures that have the ability to still go through the veil a little bit, but their access to us is much harder for them after Samhain, for the most part. So a lot of times around now, the phase like stealing stuff and moving stuff and all that kind of thing, that definitely increases. Ancestral altars can be as simple as a photo, glass of water, flowers, and a candle, or just a candle. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate at all. My worry stone is missing. See, it just does. It just happens. Or because I live near a wood full of fae. Yes, that's true. Next step after that is to meditate and call upon them and just have a talk with them about life as if you're talking to an old friend.
Right, tell them to fuck off and stop fucking with me.
Yep, honoring the dead, thanking your ancestors. Yep, that's true. Is it odd that I don't feel a connection to my ancestors? Half my family is a mystery to me since I don't know much about my mother's side. I love my family. I just struggle with feeling connection. That's okay, little dandelion. It is not odd. And keep in mind that you don't have to connect with the ancestors that you knew that transitioned either. If you weren't very close to them, you can kind of skip a couple generations and connect with ancestors further away. You just kind of open yourself up and invite the ancestors who want to connect with you, and you will get connections from people that you never even thought of, there's no way you could have known. So it doesn't have to be, your grandparents or anything like that. Hi, Dave. I think Faye stole my Febreze. I've had a ton of dreams about pets and people. My grandma also came to me and specifically requested fried green tomatoes for dumb supper. Beautiful. I meditated last night and I think I began seeing my sacred space, but I was disturbed by skunk smell. I was outside. Aha! Is there anything I can do to make my stuff stop disappearing? Nurturing compassion, sometimes it helps if you leave them in offerings. The Fae enjoy offerings of sweet things, so honey or a natural kind of cookie or oats. Stay away from, make sure you don't have any iron around anything that like low. I find that if I forget and I leave my iron cauldrons on the ground, that makes it worse because the Fae like to scurry around on the ground. So if I do that, then they get mad at me because the iron is real close to the ground. My grandmother always leaves out an extra cup of coffee. Perfect. That's perfect. We call that the gone. That happens to us all the time. Yep, we usually use sage, as Jen said, leave a small shot glass of honey. Absolutely. It was a dense forest, and I walked around and found a cemetery, like super old and crumbling, but images kept flickering like I couldn't calm my mind. I also heard running water, and I felt the need to find it. That could be a lot of times your ancestors will show you how they died. So if there was a drowning or they fell, from a high waterfall type place. Me and my sister just made a tradition to make cookies. Perfect. This might have nothing to do with Samhain, but I'm still researching about the Greek goddess Nyx. I would like to know, what does Nyx help with? I can talk to you about that afterwards. Ben said an empath thing is needing to be near water too. Yep, for sure. Yep. It wasn't until I smelled the skunk, right? And sometimes that's just a warning that you're getting too close to something, and something else doesn't want you to be too close to that. So there is 2 different kinds of dinners that you can have about the ancestors. One is the dumb supper. And I think we've talked about the dumb supper before. I think Lucy talked about it on his channel not too long ago when they were talking about Samhain. And that is where, and I think I talked about it this year too, but you know me, my memory, I don't know for sure. Where you create dishes specifically for a specific ancestor. And usually when we do it, we each pick a specific ancestor that we want to connect to. And so we are in charge of that ancestor, what they liked. So we, pour them a drink of what they would like. We make sure that we have the food of what they would like. Anything else, like, some people I know, my uncle smoked a pipe. So we'll have pipe tobacco around and that kind of thing. So, and then you set the table and you set the place for your ancestor that you're specifically honoring. And everything, we light candles and we only have the light from the candlelight. And then we can talk, usually we kind of talk about it ahead of time. Okay, I'm honoring this person and hopefully I can connect with this person. I kind of set the intention. I want to connect with Uncle Rob this year. Then we leave the house. We all walk out of the house. And the understanding is when you come back into the house, it is completely silent. No one talks. You come in and you sit down and you eat your dinner and you think of that ancestor and you think of a conversation that you would have. You think of memories with that ancestors. You think of that kind of connection with that ancestor, that specific ancestor that you are honoring. When everyone is done eating, you blow out their candle. Absolutely. It is absolutely normal to see spirits out of the corner of your eye more around now, for sure. Because the veil is thinning, we're going to see more. For sure, for sure, for sure. So then, once you blow out the candle, we usually leave the house again. Hi, Justin. And that signifies that dumb supper is over. Hi, Dad. And then when we come back in, then we can talk about, did we communicate with that ancestor? Did anything come up that we had forgotten about a long time ago? So a lot of times, at least in the early days, the kids would say, oh yeah, I forgot. I remembered this thing when we went to the park together. We did whatever. Then you know that the ancestor was there and that that was kicking in for that ancestor, that you had a special connection to that ancestor. The food that is left over, it depends on what kind of area you're in. Now, for us, we have wildlife that is close. So we will usually drive up the hill to the top of the hill where all the deer and stuff are. And we will drop off the ancestors' food as an offering. So we know when we are cooking the ancestors' food, we don't have a lot of preservatives in it. We make sure everything is natural, that anything that might be eating that food will be okay with eating whatever it is we're making. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, I wouldn't, even if, I don't know, I'm trying to think, even if my Uncle Edgy wanted McDonald's hamburgers, I would not get McDonald's hamburgers because I wouldn't feed that crap to the deer. And that's probably who's going to end up eating it when we leave it as the offering for the ancestor. is the deer and the wildlife and stuff. So just keep that in mind when you're, leaving your offering. If you're in an area that you cannot leave that kind of offering out in the wilderness, don't waste that food. It's okay for you to eat it. Just make sure that you are eating it in honor. I usually, if that happens, then I usually am like, okay, I'm going to eat this in honor of Uncle Edgy or whoever you're talking about. Okay, so that's the dumb supper. The other kind of meal is you can have an ancestor's meal where it is not a silent meal. It is the same kind of honoring system where you have one plate. Hi, Art and Tarot. Art and Tarot, if you are the Art and Tarot, and I think you are, that was at Friday night's Crystal Show, Cassie needs your email in order to send you your invoice. Perfect. Oh, no, wait. You might have already gotten your invoice today. You might have gotten it. I can't remember. Yes. Oh, yes, she does. Okay, perfect. So where was I? Oh, just a regular ancestor's meal. So usually, I have one plate then, and I have one thing that ancestor. So if I am honoring Uncle Edgy, I have one thing that Uncle Edgy would like on the plate. And then Peter will say, I'm honoring my father. He has one thing on the plate that his father would like. And so there's one setting for all of the ancestors. It's just you have something special from each ancestor on the same plate. And then instead of having a silent meal, then you have a meal where you all sit around and tell a specific story about your ancestor. So if I'm honoring Uncle Edgy, I will sit and talk about a story about Uncle Edgy that I have. And then at the end of that, we openly invite those ancestors to connect with us and ask if they have any petitions they'd like to bring on. And then we talk about if we feel like they have connected with us at all, how they connected, why they connected, what did we feel from that connection. So you don't have to do a dumb supper where it's a silent thing. I will tell you though, I usually alternate every other year because there's something to be had about both of them. It's having that dumb supper, that silent meal. There's something to be said about that. There's things that come up that wouldn't come up in a normal conversation, in other words. And then for the other way too, for the not silent meal, just the ancestors meal, there's something to be said that would not have come up with a silent meal. So, alternate what you're doing with it. It's okay to do something different. I know we didn't have a dumb supper until the kids were old enough to be quiet. It is not easy for kids under, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 to have a whole meal where they're silent. Good luck. They're just not going to do that. And I know I have heard, who's asked that? Sherry Bug. I know I have heard the origin, but of course I can't remember it. So hold on. Let me see if this little book, I haven't even had a chance to look at this book, but my guess is it's probably in here where it originated. 24. This night calls for a dumb supper or similar acts of feeding dead ancestors that might cross the veil or purgatory for a visit. During these events, people set out food for their family and for departed ancestors. Participants consume these meals either in silent or in muted tones, except at the beginning of the ceremony when they invited their ancestors and at the end when they bid them to leave. In Ireland, families left the doors and windows unlocked and set out cakes saved for the visiting dead. Any mortal who ate it was guilty of sacrilege and was condemned to afterlife as a hungry ghost. After the meal, the dead apparently expected entertainment, so children played games related to the rituals of Samhain, while the adults discussed the events of the previous year for the ancestors to hear. This tradition also came to colonial and post-colonial United States, where it became an overt, superstitious, magical practice. The version reported by one group of Kentucky folklorists stated that the supper was prepared in silence, but that those making it also walked backwards the entire time, and when possible, prepared the food with their hands positioned behind their backs. No one would eat until a sign ostensibly supernatural appeared, such as two men carrying a corpse or a large white dog. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Smoke as a way of travel, right? Beautiful. Okay. So for me, it is definitely, absolutely, for surely about the ancestors. But I also take this time because it's the end of our year. It's the end of the witches' year, the beginning of a new witches' year. So I really usually kind of take stock. And we started this with the last holiday, with Mabon. But I take stock of what did I do this year? What really worked? And for me, because this channel is a lot about my spiritual practice, I will be kind of looking at how the channel went this year. Is there a different direction I want to go in? Is there something new that I want to introduce that I didn't get to see this time? I've asked my past husband to manifest himself as I need his help. He did, and this is a good time to reach out to those who have passed on. Absolutely, Venora, absolutely. And sometimes this is, again, a good time for a dedication. If you have decided that recently that this is your path and that you want to dedicate yourself spiritually to this path, it might be a good time for a dedication ritual for yourself, for an initiation. If that's the case, then we can go over kind of an initiation kind of ritual to initiate yourself into this path. This would be a good time to do that. There is the correspondences have to do with more and more like phoenix feathers, right? Oh, that's a good, I like that analogy. I like the phoenix. And what a good time of year for the phoenix, right? The death and rebirth, perfect timing. The colors have a lot to do with, I'm going to dump all my bills in the balefire. Sounds good to me, Deb. I'm with you on that. I'll get rid of all of them, except my Buffalo Bills. If you guys want to have a full moon blessed wine to drink at Samhain, make sure you put your bottles out tonight. Yep, because the night before and the night after, you can still put your bottles out. Yep. This is my first full year with you. I appreciate more. Aw. I love you too, Shauna. For sure. And I do feel like this year was probably the biggest year that we've had for the channel. It was definitely the most growth this year. And I feel like we really kind of melded together as a cohesive family this year. Yay! Oh, good, Karen. Well, happy anniversary to all of you that this will be a year. I do feel like we've gotten very close this year and that it seems much more of a family coven kind of era. So there's a lot of good things that have come this year for sure. Yay! Hi, Mimi. So what else? Do you guys have other questions? I was trying to, correspondences, the colors this year. You can think of Halloween colors. It's black and orange, the harvesty kind of colors. The black is for the shroud that, those who are left behind would be wearing. And it also stands for the veil that is thinning. It's already been just over a year. Wow. I know it. It's so cool. There is an Egyptian phoenix called the Bennu bird. It is said to be the Ba of Ra. There's also another version of the Bennu associated with Osiris. Oh, that's cool. Can we have dinners for pets? Absolutely. For sure. For sure. Absolutely. I have hairs from now. I don't know if you have been with me over a year, last Mabon, I had to put down one of my aunt's dogs, who was our dog, and I have hairs from her on my ancestor altars. She's absolutely one of my ancestors. So I definitely think, for sure, animals can be a part of this tradition. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. What else? Divination. There is something, because the veil is thin, and it is absolutely connecting with ancestors, but it's not just the ancestors. It is all forms of divination. If you want to start scrying with a crystal ball, now is a good time to do that. If you want to start using a pendulum, now is a good time to do that. The tarot, if you really want to dedicate yourself to the tarot, now is a good time to do that. The forms of divination that are coming out are right now are stronger than ever, and it absolutely has to do with the veil being thinnest at this time. That you are more able to connect more easily to the connections that we have out there. I have no idea where it is, but I had to out a lifelong pet down. I saved his collar. Aw, I'm sorry, honey. My problem is I want to do it all, but yeah, I really started doing tarot more. That's okay. I have a texture stealing, and I've been using that to scry with. Perfect, little dandelion. Perfect. For sure. That's great. Lunar Ascension. You're welcome, honey. We love you too. So divination it's a big time for divination now. Hi, Kelsey. 2 fur babies. Aw. Dan, be right back. Hot teriyaki sauce. Oh, all down your leg. Oh, be careful, honey. Ouch. What else? We've talked about apples before. It is, if you can still make a fire outside, it is a good time for a bonfire. Fire scrying. I love to do fire scrying. I have some really interesting pictures of some of the bonfires that I've had on Sabbats that have some really amazing things in there. Thank you, Kelsey. I love using playing cards because it's ancient and inexpensive way to do divination. Absolutely. My mom gave me some pictures of my dad when he was young, and I found one from a year before he passed. That would be perfect. I've been here, guys. Hi, Denise. It's okay. What's your opinion on why the veil is more thin now versus Beltane? Well, I'll tell you, Deb, I have always said, I feel like, I don't know how to describe this, but I feel like there's different parts of the veil. For me, the veil that is thin at Beltane is the veil between the world of the Fae and us, that kind of magical being side, Avalon, if you will. At Beltane, that is the thinnest part of the veil. And for me, Samhain, it's kind of like the opposite side is for those who have transitioned. And that's just my feeling. Yeah, different currents. Exactly. It is easier to connect for me to the Fae at Beltane, and it becomes very hard. I shouldn't say very hard. It becomes a lot different. And different Fae. There's a few Fae that I'm still able to connect with in the dark half of the year, but they are specific to Yule, usually. The brownies and the Tim-Toms. You know what I'm talking about, right? If Samhain veil is thin, would be in the veil at the hours of 3 to 4 a.m., 3:30. Yep. Tomties. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I feel like from now until the spirit world will be very close. Yep. When you say the Fae, is it more of the darker ones? Yes. Yep. Tantu is another name. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The more earthy Fae. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Jack. The more earthy Fae. Exactly. And to me, the sprites and that kind of thing, I can connect to when Beltane comes around. So I feel like it's just a different level of the veil. Yes. Yep, yep, yep. For sure. So the other thing that you may want to incorporate is the Day of the Dead, which is November 1st, technically. And that really is all a part of the same thing. It's just a different tradition. So marigolds have a lot to do with the Day of the Dead. Sugar skulls, that's why I pull out all my sugar skulls. Yes, we went through this last year. I know. And we kind of talked about it last year. And then I was going to do more on it. And we just didn't quite get to it. But as the mini Santa, right? Yeah, but they can be evil little fuckers too, let me tell you. But different for sure. Okay. Dedications. What else? This is kind of a winging it thing. Like I said, my notes on Samhain, I don't know what the heck happened to them. I actually think they're at my main office or my regular office, which I haven't been to yet this year. Did you guys see, if you're on Facebook, did you see the turnips? The carved turnips, and Amber Scott was saying that because she lives in Scotland, that they still do turnips there. They are creepy as hell, right? I know. And apparently that is what started getting carved. The tradition came from the Celts, and they started carving the turnips instead of the pumpkins and gourds and that kind of thing. And they are creepy, right? Oh my goodness. They are totally creepy. Yeah, holy moly. I almost want to try it, but Amber said that they're really hard to carve. Really hard to carve. And I thought, forget it. I'll just do, pumpkins. But I think it would be really interesting because they are creepy. All right, guys. So tomorrow night is the Hierophant, which I'm going to be finishing getting ready, hopefully tonight. It'll be at 8:30 tomorrow night. And I'm pretty sure, I know I'm not working evenings tomorrow night, so I don't know where I am, but yeah, search your sandals, right? Tomorrow night is the Hierophant. So I will try to post some of the ones I really like tonight, or it may be tomorrow. We'll see. I have no idea how busy I'm going to be tomorrow because I don't even know where I am yet. I'm so out of it still. I have to be honest with you. With all the tragedy stuff. Hi, Lady Blind Wolf. With all the tragedy stuff, I'm lucky I made it to work the right place today, because I was at Murderville today and I almost forgot about it until last night. But we will be having Tarot Tuesday tomorrow. Awesome. You're going to go live on, well, I probably will, Shauna, after Tarot Tuesday. But Tarot Tuesday, I like to do Tarot Tuesday every Tuesday, and I don't want to get too far behind with it. And then I will also be doing, I've got like 1 million kids books. And thank you, Lady Blind Wolf. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know they are out terribly. I got 1 million kids books, and I would like to do a couple of those kind of readings too. So keep an eye out for story time. And Tarot Tuesday tomorrow. And Hexen, are you gonna be on your YouTube channel? I'm so excited. You couldn't make it harder to find you. I know, right? Duh. I'm so glad Hexen can go on his YouTube channel again. We missed him so much. Good job, Lucy. You're quick. Troll returns again and again and again. Wow, he's so bored. Get a life, troll. So it'll be nice to see Hexen. Yay! And we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time is our normal time, and we'll be on at the normal time, okay? I'm going to make a troll song, right? Thank you, Lucy. I appreciate you being on it. Whack-a-mole, right? Ah, they're so boring. Yay. So again, just one last reminder, get a hold of Cassie if you bought stuff on Friday, and let her know your email so she can get you an invoice, okay? Thank you guys so much. And returns and returns and returns. All right. I love you guys. I'm so tired. Yay. Hexen will be on in a couple minutes. I love you. Talk to you later.